Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Hard Count. Today,
Welcome.
we have another video for you, and today we're talking about the NFC North.
The best division.
Best division, okay? So let's get right into it without further ado. Guys, the NFC North got some ups and downs.
Topsy-turvy.
Yeah, that's kind of how it's been these past couple years. But, Cade, do you want to kick it off with the number one team in the NFC North?
The number one team in the NFC North. I was actually at this game, guys. The Lions-Panthers. It was a phenomenal game. I kind of peaked. It was pretty fun. I never heard Ford Field that loud in my life. Let me just say that.
That's awesome.
It was pretty electric. It felt like a college atmosphere for once. It was pretty special. Anyways, Lions look good, man. Lions look good. We know that. We've seen that. They got good O&D line. They got great run defense, a better run offense. Sky's the limit. It was the Panthers. I'm not going to go crazy on this game, but it's a positive outlook for the rest of the season. And their schedule's really not that bad. Like, I've never seen a more favorable Lions schedule with the bye week being placed very nicely at week 9, so you can get some rest in and then finish that slate of the season. Brandon.
Yes.
Sky's the limit, right? Am I missing something?
Oh, no.
Like, here's a better question. Like, Detroit obviously has got everything going for it, the hype, the good trenches. What could hinder this team from truly being special?
Injury. That's it. I mean,
I agree.
It's really, it's I mean, I'm not comparing this team to the San Francisco 49ers just because of, the talent that the Niners have. And I'm not saying the Lions don't have a thing to match that talent. I'm just saying they're
good.
The Niners have Hall of Famers everywhere.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's just hard to, I'm not comparing it, but, it's just like the Niners. If you have injuries on, like, every depth, every part of the field, it's going to be hard to, win games.
Yep.
That D-line is great. The only thing that can ruin it, injury. Same thing with the O-line.
Yep.
But, man, the Lions are fun to watch, man. I love Dan. We've established that we love Dan Campbell on this show.
Just a little bit.
Man, I like watching that offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown did not play, okay? And
not at all.
The Panthers, it is the Panthers, but they still – the Panthers are, they're 0-5, okay? But they've competed, I think, right? They're
okay.
all right. Again, it is the Panthers, but it's a great
whooping,
showing
man.
for the Lions.
Yeah, it was a whooping. It was what you wanted to see.
It wasn't like the Lions snuck away a field goal and, won the game. They beat the piss off the Panthers, okay?
Correct.
Aiden Hutchinson is playing out of his mind. I know the Jaguars are looking at that 1 and 2 pick, Trayvon Walker and Aiden Hutchinson, and they're like,
Thank you, Jacksonville.
because, man, they botched that. Because that dude is insane. He did like a 2-step and then just like picked it off one hand and was like, I'll take that
Pick
price.
up a screen pass.
And, and said, number 1 pick my ass, and ran off with it, dude. That dude's playing out of his mind. The defense looks good. It sucks that Emmanuel Mosley went out.
Yeah, I was about to say
that sucks. That's going to hurt.
He is out for years.
The year. He tore his ACL.
Prayers up, speedy recovery.
Yeah, prayers up because, he just came back too, which sucks. And you don't wish that on anyone. Cam Sutton, though, is luckily there, and he's playing great. Now, there is a couple players I want to point out on offense.
Hit me.
Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay.
He's playing good.
I was watching some of these throws, and I'm like,
Goff, he gets in the zone.
yeah, I mean, when you get Goff, when he hits that zone, oof, that dude is insane quarterback. Okay?
He's a force.
He is a force. And he did great without Amon-Ra St. Brown, the number 1 target. It literally seemed like, no, of course they need him, but they just didn't seem like they were affected by his loss, which is big.
That's what you want to see.
Because, there were questions like, who other than St. Brown's going to get the ball? Josh Reynolds did great.
Sam Laporta 10 times.
Sam Laporta is a god's gift. I know Dan Campbell loves that kid. The play calling that they do is so fun. Ben Johnson draws up the best plays. David Montgomery is absolutely lighting it up.
Yeah,
he is the running back that everyone knew what he could be, unless you were blind. He finally shows. This is what happens when I'm not playing behind the Bears' terrible O-line. I can actually produce and run for more yards than I was given on the Bears. But hats off to the Lions, playing great. Cade, do you want to add anything?
No. Sky's the limit. Stay healthy. It's going to be a good season. It's going to be a fun season.
Yeah. We'll touch on where we see them ranking at the end of the show.
Correct.
But I want to say how I do see the Lions in the playoffs. I'll give you a sneak peek, of course.
Let's go.
I can see them upsetting one of these teams. I know you don't want to hear it as long, maybe like it's like bad juju, but I can see them upsetting one of these top-seeded NFC teams, such as the Eagles sleeping.
Oh, man.
Or, God, I say the San Francisco 49ers. If any team is going to put down the San Francisco 49ers, it's going to be the Eagles. And I think the Lions have a chance if they're healthy.
That's correct.
I think if they're healthy, I think I know it's crazy.
Oh, it's great. It's a cat's chance in hell, but we got a chance.
But I think let me look at the NFC. What's going to happen?
Yeah, it's like 3 teams.
I mean, yeah, it's literally like 3. We saw what happens to the Cowboys.
That was brutal.
Yeah, so I think there's only there's only like a handful of teams that can compete with San Francisco at this point, and Lions are one of them.
Wow, Brandon. What a way to cap that off. I don't know if you know how excited that just made me. Now let's talk about the Minnesota Vikings, guys. They have been a good team, considerably a great team for a while now. Kirk Cousins, I don't care what you we'll get that in a second. I don't care what you have to say. Kirk is balling out, but we'll get there. Vikings are 1-4, 0-3 at home. Man, oh man. And now, as of this morning, Justin Jefferson is on the IR. And guys, I hope you know, if they keep losing, which they probably will, they have a cakewalk of a schedule, but they're not going to win without Jay Jettas.
Yeah.
If they keep losing, he's not coming off the IR.
No.
There's no shot. They're going to tank for that pick and get a great quarterback, and Kirky is gone for some reason, but we'll touch on that. Brandon.
Yeah.
I did not see 1-4 coming.
No.
Anywhere.
No one did.
I understand they had a rough couple games and stuff happens, but last year they were the highest team to have single possession wins in the NFL, and that does factor in. Brandon, Vikings, what's the problem? What's working? Where do they go?
Well, I mean, they're in, like you said, one possession games yet again. Okay,
every time
they're in a lot of one possession games. The only thing is, it's flipping the other way. So last year they won literally every game they were one possession in. Okay, like Cade said, they were a one possession team last year. They would beat you in one possession. They'll take it. This year, it's flipping the other way. The turntables have turned.
It's crazy how that works, huh?
Yeah, so they're just not getting that. Now, I will say there was some ref ball with the Chiefs. It was a little bit of baloney. I will say Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings kind of got fleeced by the refs.
Sorry,
okay.
guys.
Now, I'm not saying they played their best ball, but I think some Chiefs ref ball was definitely played in the last couple minutes of that game.
Hate ref ball with
and
everything in my heart.
I think the Vikings could have snuck that out. Man, 1-4 is tough. Now, do we want to touch on the quarterbacks?
Yeah, guys. Let me preface this. I'm going to throw it back to you, Brandon.
Yeah.
All of Minnesota, every Vikings fan I know is like, it's more than you think. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe a 5th. And all of Twitter is complaining about Kirk Cousins. I understand he's been throwing a couple pick sixes here and there. Throws a lot of red zone picks. But, guys, he's not the root of the problem. Like, you see decent teams win with decent quarterbacks, and he's better than that. He's
with worse quarterbacks.
With worse quarterbacks.
Dak Prescott.
Example. Point in case right there. The Cowboys are a winning football team with Dak Prescott. And remember when people used to say, oh, Kirk Cousins. No, they used to say Dak is basically Kirk Cousins, and that was like an insult to Dak.
Yeah.
Dak would be lucky to be Kirk Cousins, in my eyes at least.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kirk balls out. Brandon, take it away.
No, I agree with you. Saying that Kirk is the root of the issue is crazy.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins leads in passing yards right now in the NFL.
Second.
Okay? Or second in the NFL in passing yards, okay? Passing touchdowns, number 1.
That's insane,
Number
guys.
1.
And he's the problem.
And no, I know this because Jay Jettas hasn't gotten, so it's not like he's just throwing the ball to Jay Jettas and he's just using his wide. Jay Jettas has only got like 2 reception touchdowns, I think, on the year or something like that. Maybe 3. I think. I don't know.
But he's spreading it out.
But he's spreading it out, okay? The trenches are the problem, okay,
That's
with the
correct.
Vikings.
That's
okay,
correct.
You're not winning up front on the O-line. Kirk Cousins just getting ransacked.
He's getting mauled,
I'm surprised Kirk Cousins wants to stay with y'all's ass because, I mean, on a team, you would see a different level quarterback. You would see an MVP level season if he was on the Cowboys.
He's
if
top
he was on,
10 of getting sacked in the league.
Yeah. So, what are you doing? Okay. Now, I get you wanted Jordan Addison. Yeah, it's great. He's flashy. Go for an O-lineman. I mean,
it's not worth it.
It's you have Jay Jettas. That's why the draft kind of confused me. They didn't really beef up the O-line.
No. They ignored it.
The trenches are okay. Delaney Hunter. Daniil Hunter?
Yeah.
I always say Delaney. I know it sounds, and then it sounds weird in my mind. Anyway, I mean, they're fine. The defense is, it's not crazy. You got Byron Murphy.
It's fine.
Cool. It's just, Harrison Smith is old, dude. Get rid of him.
It's time to go. He makes a play now and then. They're like, let's go, Harrison. I'm like, dude, it's time to rotate.
Yeah, he'll make a 4th down stop, and they're like, he's back. And you're like, no, stop it.
Okay? He's like 34.
Yeah, he's 34. He's like, guys, I can't really feel my legs, but I'll go out there. And, I mean, I love Harrison Smith, but it's time to move on. There's just other problems. It's not O'Connell. O'Connell's a great coach. It's not, Kirk Cousins. I get it. In prime time, there's been some if he plays. But, I mean, the dude doesn't know if his blind side, if there's 2 big D linemen coming for him on his blind side every time because, the only producing O-lineman on that Vikings team is Darrishaw.
That's correct.
He's he's
already
with injury.
Yeah.
So the rest of the O-line are just, kind of like, oh, come on through,
They're
sir.
swing gate. Come on in. They're like a bad bouncer at a college bar. They're like, got an ID? Wow, that's crazy. Come on in, dude.
Go get our quarterback. So all the Vikings fans that say, man, let's tank. Cool. You can tank. Yeah, start a rebuild. Cool. I mean, I get Kirk Cousins doesn't have too many years in the NFL left.
I understand that, yeah.
But
that's a valid point.
Don't throw it on Kirk Cousins because that dude has brought you to many playoffs or a lot of playoff or chances to get the playoffs, and it's not all him. There are some games where it is, he'll throw a pick at the end of the game and it sucks, but
those games happen.
That happens. Okay?
Even the best do that.
With the draft, do you want to talk about the Chiefs game at all, or do you want to talk?
Honestly, this is just definition Vikings. They competed this game. It's just a little bit of ref ball, like you said. They just came up short. That's all it was. But the Vikings, real quick, and I'll throw it right back. The Vikings are definition of a team when you have you ever met someone in life that they have a problem and they know they do? Everyone around them knows they have a problem, but they look at themselves in the mirror and just fucking ignore it every single time. Wow, I just said a bad word. That's what the Vikings are, dude. They know their issue, the D-line, the O-line, and they just aren't good to fix it. And they're going to blame the guy who's at the top of the mountain, Kirk Cousins, when he's carrying the team. But that's my 2 cents. Sorry, I got a little tangent there, but it just pisses me off.
For some reason, Vikings fans, you don't appreciate Kirk Cousins. I don't see it. That's just me. Yeah. I'm going to be honest. I don't see any. Now, again, I'm not slandering your whole fan base. Okay.
No.
There are guys that appreciate Kirk Cousins and know what he's doing and trying his best. And I also get the want one of these flashy new quarterbacks because
who doesn't? Hope is a thing everybody wants. Yeah.
Who doesn't want that flashy new? Here's the prospect. Here's the guy that's going to take us to the next level quarterback. I get that. But it's not all Kirk Cousins' fault. Okay?
Correct.
Now, I wanted to ask you this.
Please.
I know this kind of has to do with our rankings, but
we'll tip it off there.
Caleb Williams is going to probably be in the draft. Let's be honest. He's going to be
in the draft. He says he's
not going to college. Okay?
Correct.
If he goes back to college, a lot of teams will see that as a red flag.
Yeah.
I
it'll
just be like, okay, you think, you Heisman. Anyway, we're not talking about Caleb Williams. But do you see them being bad enough to land a top 2 quarterback like Caleb Williams, Drake May / Michael Penix Jr.?
I will say, now here's something that could happen. This is just me. If the Vikings truly feel this way, and Kevin O'Connell wants his guy, because I don't know if Kirk was ever his guy.
Yeah.
And he wants to blow it all up. The Vikings just lost Jay Jettis. He's going to be on IR.
Yep.
In my opinion, if they lose a couple more games for the rest of the season, they're not taking him off. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Especially for this year. I think you ship Kirk off. I think that's not a horrible thing to say because they don't appreciate him, A, like we've just been talking about for 6-7 minutes, and B, he could go to a team like maybe not the Jets, but a team that could use him and actually excel and make a playoff run because he's been playing well. But that's just my 2 cents. I don't think they'll be bad enough to get Caleb. I think they'll be on the 2, 3, 4 verge. But if Kirk is gone, and Jay Jettis is on IR for the rest of the season, that is a solidified first overall pick.
Yeah,
and that's just what I would do if I was the Vikings. Just blow it up at this point.
Yeah.
That's just me, though.
No, I agree. I would say the same thing. I think it's going to be I think Kirk honestly moves before the trade. I think the trade deadline, especially if they lose to the Bears come Sunday. I
can't
think
wait for that game.
I think, and then they just strive for one of these like Cade said, I don't think they are going to beat out, like, the Bears have the Panthers pick. I don't think they are going to beat out the Panthers in losing, okay?
Yeah.
Like, you see the Panthers.
They're bad.
They're bad, okay? So
Bad.
I don't think they're going to just slide on down to the one spot and just be like, oh, season's over. Not with the talent, like with still Jordan Addison healthy, and
they can be top 5 for sure.
Yeah, they'll win some games. But they do have the chance to land one of these quarterbacks like Michael Penix Jr. or maybe Drake May if he slides. Who knows? I don't know what all the prospect list, but I don't think Caleb Williams is going to land there. If he does, watch out.
Watch out. It's going to be scary to watch.
But
exciting too.
But they also have some more problems. So any problems that Kirk Cousins is having right now, that new quarterback's going to face, because
Correct.
they're going to use their first overall pick on a quarterback, and then what are they going to do? Draft another wide receiver? Like, you have to. The trenches matter.
Trenches
Minnesota
win games, man.
Oh, they do.
What does every good team in the league right now have?
Trenches.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. No one beats the 49ers up front or on defense.
Correct.
Okay, so, and they have the best two probably in the league, the best O-line, the best D-line. So, arguably.
Yep.
So, you got to protect. People are like, oh, I want new quarterback. That's great. He's going to be in the same situation. He's going to get blindside hit, and you guys are going to be like, we suck.
It's
God,
Caleb's
maybe,
fault. It's not Caleb's
maybe
fault.
we drafted the wrong guy. Okay? Surround your quarterback with protection. You have the talent outside. Stop drafting wide receivers. Stop.
We're good now.
Okay? You're fine. Okay? Just focus on the trenches.
Yeah.
And we'll move on from there because we've been talking about the Vikings for like 10 minutes.
Far too long for how bad they are.
Yeah.
Brandon, Chicago Bears got their first win of the season.
Let's go,
first
baby.
win of the season, 1-4.
Down.
Bear down. 40-20. They put a whooping on the Commanders. It was a good game.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know which way this game was going to go because, like, the Bears were like, potential. Poop the bed out the gate. It was rough.
Yeah.
This game, dude, Fields was on fire. They looked good.
Yeah.
The team is humming. And next they take on
The Minnesota Vikings.
what we just said, our booty cheeks. They are not good at all. Fields finished this game with 15 completions, 282, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. And how many yards did he run for? 57 yards. This dude had a hell of a game.
Yeah. Fields haters are in shambles after that game.
Yeah, they are.
But not only that, we'll touch on Justin Fields. I want to say it's a great game. It's a good win for Chicago, especially because of course, of the loss of Dick Butkus that night. That, obviously I think put another chip on our shoulder to win for him. And I think we did that. Or we definitely did that, 40-20. I still see that I still think there is some things, of course, to fix. This isn't like here we go to the Super Bowl. Okay, it's one win. Like, it's good win. You saw what our offense can be.
Do you know what it did, Brandon?
What?
It kept the locker room.
It kept the locker room, yes, from tearing itself apart. I still think, there were some times, where we were up, I think, like 27 to still like 3 or something. And, there's still that third down, that third quarter where we kind of just stand still and let the team kind of come back a little bit. It's like a little worrisome. You saw it at Denver. It happened in Denver. It didn't happen here. Luckily, our offense came back and still produced. Thank God for DJ Moore.
Oh,
Thank you, Carolina. We would not be here without him.
233 touchdowns, by the way.
DJ Moore went off and had a career night. Thank God, because one, you felt bad for DJ going into these games and, not getting as many receptions as he deserves or targets or looks in general. And they just weren't utilizing DJ Moore like the wide receiver one they traded for.
Correct.
Finally, we saw what could happen with when you when Fields doesn't drop his eyes and he's actually taking what's given to him and, going with his gut and throwing the ball on time and, in an orderly fashion.
It was fun to watch.
It was fun to watch. We finally are getting healthier. Again, I know our defense is coming back for the Minnesota game. I know Jalen Johnson's coming back. Eddie Jackson's coming back. Kyler Gordon, apparently, after having a broken hand, is supposedly going to be back.
That's huge.
Which is huge. And then our O-line kind of got healthy with Tevin Jenkins coming back last week and not allowing a single pressure or sack.
Good stuff.
In 37 snaps. So
that's huge.
It is huge. Darnell Wright, God bless. So these guys, we're finally, I think the Bears are taking shape on what they can be. We just can't lose that momentum.
Correct.
I think, of course, this was definitely our best-looking game. Justin Fields was slinging it around. He looked confident in his throws. He looked poised in the pocket. And Justin Fields is tied for second in passing touchdowns in the league.
Would have never guessed that.
So Fields haters are just in shambles looking for anything to grasp on.
Man.
Well, they're trying, okay? And now, no, I'm not saying Justin Fields is based on that game. Justin Fields is a top 10 quarterback. He still has to earn that.
A lot of people wrote him off, including me. I thought it was pretty much wraps.
Yeah, even Bears fans were wrapping him up and being like, we have 2 picks. Let's just draft Caleb Williams and get out of here. Okay,
let's go.
It
totally could still happen, but he's balling out.
Now, I will not count out, the potential because we hold 2 draft picks and both teams have that potential to land in that number 1 spot again, and it's hard to pass up a quarterback like Caleb Williams. But if Fields keeps playing like this, dude, there's no reason to draft Caleb Williams. There's only reason to maybe draft or trade back 1 spot and draft Marvin Harrison.
Yeah.
And just help him out and have an insane wide receiver core for Justin Fields to throw to and just go from there. Which I really love and would love to see it. But the way Justin Fields is playing, if he keeps this up, he's going to be a quarterback for Chicago for years to come.
Correct.
Just keep going. Keep doing you. He's just playing good football these past 2 weeks. Of course, the Denver Broncos interception, that was the only real issue that you saw. But that was one issue. In crush time, he knows he has to throw it better than.
I'm not going to blame that on him, though, because that was a read, the man zone thing, so I'm not blaming that interception on Justin.
But, overall, the Bears look good in that win, and we're having a long break. That was the Thursday night game. We're going into Sunday.
Get healthy.
Vikings are coming into Chicago. So, 1-4 versus 1-4. So, we're going to see what happens. I have high hopes for that game, and the future's looking bright for Justin Fields and Chicago, at least for now. So, we'll go off that. Let's go off of the least favorite team out of me and Cade, and I'm sure a lot of y'all watching
don't like him either. But if you are a Packers fan, we're still going to talk about you. And we're going to give you some love. We're going to give you some hate. Love. You like my dad joke there? All right, let's talk about it. Packers.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
Packers looked bad last night, dude. 13-17. The fantasy footballer said it best. They were just trading farts. It was a bad game to watch. Jordan Love, he started the season looking on fire.
Oh, yeah.
He was balling out, doing his thing. Very efficient, very poised, making great throws. 16 for 30, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. It was a nasty game, 32.2 rating. Man, it was a brutal game for Mr. Love, and we started the season with him just top of the mountain. Now he's here. The Packers are 2-3 going out the rest of the season, and in my opinion, they're maybe not anymore. For them being 2-3, when they started the season, I'm like, oh, the Lions, that's their competition.
Yeah.
That's what it's looking like.
For sure.
It's not the Vikings. The Bears catch steam. They could sneak back up into it.
We'll see.
But the Packers, Brandon, they look great some days. Some days they look like this. Are they a playoff team from here?
No.
You heard it here.
No. They could sneak into the wild card.
Okay. So like a 9-8?
Yeah, I don't see them winning the division, especially with Detroit on there. I don't think any team is going to beat Detroit in the NFC North, honestly.
I've heard that in my life. That feels good.
Unless, we might have a good game with, Green Bay. But no, Detroit actually whooped up on Green Bay. So we know, and that was in Lambeau. So we know how that's going to go. So, yeah, the Vikings might give them a run if they have healthy Jettas. I don't know. that's up to the Vikings. We'll see when that time comes. I think, maybe the Bears could put up with them. I'm talking the Lions because we saw what happened with the Bears and Packers. But, again, I have no idea. What we just got to see more from Chicago to really
I agree.
direct where Chicago's going to go. But we're on the Packers. So
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Cheeseheads. No, I'm not going to start it. But
Cheese.
yeah. Jordan Love, like you said, games like that, games like, whoa, this guy's good. Okay. I don't really know how to put it because he has wide receivers. You have Christian Watson. You have Romeo Doubs. Like, they don't have their identity yet, I don't think.
That's correct. That is completely correct.
Yeah, Aaron Jones is out. That sucks, but that shouldn't, affect the entire team and the way your offense is run. So,
you have a second-round running back.
I think a lot of this is on LaFleur.
I agree.
The defense played great. They held the team to, the defense put the team in a winning position. I think the defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're great. I think a lot of things are overrated on that team, but I think their trenches are very good, and I think their linebackers are very good. I think their safeties and their corners can use some help. I know Packers fans are gasping right now because they're like, what about Jair Alexander? Yeah, he's good. He'll lock you up, but, I mean, he's not like Jalen Ramsey in prime time or something like that.
Correct.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's not elite, I would say.
That could change the game.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, it's not like don't throw it over there.
That's correct.
Okay, it's not like Revis Island by any means.
Mm-hmm.
But you see potential like Preston Smith. You see Quay Walker. That sucked to lose him. Rashawn Gary. Your trenches are good. Bakhtiari hurt.
That's hard.
But losing to Josh McDaniels and the Raiders on Monday night, dude.
You can't do that. You got to win that game.
That sucks.
You got to win that game.
You have to win this game if you want to be in this league competing for a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Cade, do you have anything really interesting? Christian Watson looks good. Jaden Reed looks really good.
Yeah.
Wide receivers look good. I know they're itching to get Aaron Jones healthy again, but I know they're playing it correct because I know they're keeping him out and waiting till he's fully ready to go and utilizing him. But, man, you can't lose to the Raiders.
Can't do that. And I will say, bouncing back from this, they got a get-right game. Raiders should have been a get-right game, but they got the Broncos, Vikings, Rams. Pretty good. Then the Steelers and the Chargers. They got a good 5-game stretch right there, Brandon. I think they're going to bounce back and make everyone look silly. And they're going to be, call it 6 wins, and they're going to be on top of the world feeling good.
Oof.
And then
they hit a wall of these 2 weeks.
Correct. Then they go Lions in their house, and then they go Chiefs and Lambeau. So the end of the season gets shaky, but they're going to have a 5-game run where they can have a chance to get back into this playoff race.
Yeah. Like I said, I can see them in a wild card. I don't see them division winners. Not with the way Jordan Love is playing right now. I need to see more because the ending pick, that kind of sucks to see as a Packers fan. It's like, oh, what the hell was that, Jordan?
That was brutal.
Like, that wasn't the smartest throw.
But everyone has bad weeks.
But, yeah. I know it.
So, with that, let's do something else to say.
No.
Our final rankings for the NFC North.
And
we have to say if they make the playoffs or not. Brandon, you want to start? You want me to go first?
You can go first.
Okay. NFC North. They're going to go Lions. Don't jinx this, Cade. Don't jinx this, man. I think it's pretty set in stone, but I think the Lions are going to win this division. Make the playoffs, obviously.
Yeah.
2, I think the Packers are going to be okay. I thought the Bears is a good 5-game stretch for the Packers. They're going to be all right. They'll bounce back in. Playoffs? No. I'm going to go no for the playoffs. They're not that good. Jordan Love's too inconsistent, as we can see right now at least. So, no. Next, Bears, and then next, Vikings. I think the Vikings are truly going to tank this season.
Cool.
Jettas is on IR.
Take it.
They're going to throw it away.
Yeah.
I think, that's just mine, though. Brandon, where are we going?
Well, I'm going to go Lions 1.
Let's go.
Yeah,
High five.
Yeah, dude. The Lions are crazy to watch. They're fun to watch this season. And I think there's just, like you said, sky's the limit. They really can surprise a lot of teams this year. So, Lions 1. Now I got to think about this.
Think hard, Brandon.
Because
this is morally right or wrong for you.
I'm going to be a Bears fan, and I'm going to buy into the hype that I saw over these last 2 weeks, and I think we build on it.
Okay? Statement.
And I think somehow now the Packers do have a light. Now, well, hold on. The Packers do have a good 5-game schedule. I think they could pull Jordan Love, or like Jordan Love could pull some of these games, and they lose some of these games they're not supposed to. And I think maybe they fall a little short. So I think the Bears take it by like 1 or 2 games over the Packers, because I don't know. I think something might have clicked with Justin Fields and DJ Moore. Like DJ Moore, like Justin Fields' stats plus 20 yards. I don't want to jinx it. His stats are insane. You can look it up at PFF. Like his plus 20-yard passes are insane. His stats are crazy. He's like a 130 passer rating on plus 20 yards.
So 1 Lions, 2.
So I think the Bears go at 2.
And is that?
No, I don't think.
Okay.
I don't think they manage to get to the playoffs. I don't think the NFC North is that strong, unless something just hits a stride and we win more games than we should. But
Yeah.
I don't think they make the playoffs. I'm going to put the Packers at 2 games or so below them. Maybe again, I think that final week versus the Packers is going to matter.
Yeah, well.
Of course, this could alter my standings, obviously. But I think that might be a wild card fight.
Ooh,
Who knows?
that'd be fun.
Because the NFC North is just, or the NFC in general is just kind of like
Wide open.
Yeah, unless you count the Niners, the Eagles, maybe Cowboys, and Seattle. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Rams look pretty good. Anyway, and then I'll have the Vikings at 4 because,
Bodie.
like you said, it's possible. I completely agree with you. I think the Vikings could just tank the season. So. With that being said, that's our video, man.
Those are our rankings. Want me to wrap it, Brandon?
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for watching this today. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like. If you really enjoyed it, subscribe. And if you hated this thing, throw it in the comments. Boost that algorithm. Let us know. Check us out on our socials. We got Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, X. That's all 4. All good stuff. We post a lot on TikTok. We post a lot on Instagram. Those are our main 2. Stay updated. Stay up to date. Do your thing. We appreciate you guys more than you know. Love you so much. Have a great day.